want to talk about this addressing. I can't for the life of me figure why they have got my address down as 99 Depot Street. About 2 years ago, I wrote a letter, put in the paper about it, I didn't know where I lived. Just about 1 month after that, I get my phone bill and it's got that address on it. I reckon the only person in the county that had their address changed that quick. And these people absolutely did not send out any letters for input into naming that road or any other road down there. Of course, just lately, they have sent everybody letters out with their addresses on it. And I've got a neighbor that lives closer to Depot Street than I do, and his address is Central Station Road. You know, and it's been about probably 3-4 weeks ago, I called 911 to get someone to take my wife to the hospital. And they said, do you want the emergency squad or ambulance authority? I don't care which one it is, just so someone takes her. About 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from the ambulance authority wanting to know where Depot Street is. They said they have searched the map of West Union and they can't find it. I said, well, I don't live on Depot Street, West Union. I live down Central Station. Well, the fellow said, well, I know where you live. I've known you all my life. You know, but they had no idea where Depot Street was. And another thing too, they charged me $901 just to take her up to the hospital in that little van. And I don't know how many millionaires there is in Doddridge County, but I'm sure not one of them. You know, I mean, that was more than 2 of my wife's Social Security checks just for a ride to the hospital. And, you know, I'd like for them to get this straightened out about this addressing stuff. They've got a sign sitting down there in Central Station that says Arnold's Creek Road, but still everybody's address is such and such a number, Central Station Road. And I told them 2 years ago about that sign that said Arnold's Creek Road. Well, we'll get that sign changed. Here, it's still there. And now they come up with the idea of, well, they're way behind on putting their signs up. But I don't think they're 2 years behind, because they told me 2 years ago that they would change it.
Who told you, Mr. Barr? State? Who told you they changed the sign?
Whoever I talked to.
Oh, the Department of Highways or
whoever I talked to at the mapping division
okay.
down here.
Okay.
I don't know who it was.
Okay.
But, you know, I don't know why they can't get that straightened out.
Well, you guys want to respond to that?
I think it was me that I talked to you. You're addressed off Depot Street because that's how you get to your house. You can't get to your house from Central Station Road. You're not addressed right off that road. That's why you have to do that. As far as the signs go, we drove the county and we turned them all in. They are behind because there's so many of us down and missing. And as far as, I can't answer for why, when you called 911 and they didn't know, or.
Well, are you sure you called 911?
Because we wouldn't ask if you wanted
We wouldn't ask if you
DTMS
wanted.
anyways. We would send you the ambulance story. That's who we sent. So we wouldn't have asked that in the first place.
Do you remember what day that was by chance? I'll review the tapes.
What's that?
Do you remember what day you called for your wife?
No, I don't.
About how many weeks ago was
Been about a month ago.
that? Okay, I'll go back and review the tapes, but we wouldn't ask if you wanted the squad or the AM story, because we only send the AM story. Well, I'll go back and review that tape and find out.
Go ahead.
Can I make a response to one of his comments?
You sure can.
That would be that you were charged how much were you?
$901. I don't know what the dollar was for.
And we had free emergency care before this, and this is the kind of stuff we're gonna get now? For people who can't afford, you know.
You're saying you can't afford other things, but I mean, what's going on with this stuff?
Who was an ambulance authority? You know?
Yes. But the other one's just as bad. My boy can't get a loan down here at the bank because they didn't call. They life flighted him to Morgantown, charged him $6,000. The only thing he had was his ankle broke. And there wasn't no reason why the emergency squad couldn't have took him up to the hospital.
I will call the ambulance authority and talk to Mr. Randy Flynn about the situation, Clyde. Now, about your address, these people have to correct that for you.
Well, I think they've already corrected it. I mean, I've got a neighbor that lives right beside of me, he don't have Depot Street.
I don't understand that. Sorry. I don't understand that, actually. What you said to him, I don't understand. What you responded to him.
When you drive down Central Station Road,
Yes.
you drive down Central Station and you turn onto Depot Street to drive to his house, because he lives up across the rails and trails. You can't drive up over the bank in an ambulance or fire truck to get to his house. You have to drive onto Depot Street to get to his house. Therefore, he is addressed off that road because you're addressed off the road that accesses your house for emergency, fire, police, and that's why he has a depot address. That street it was named Depot before I even started this. That's why his address is Depot Street.
Well,
And I'm unsure of his neighbor, I can't, unless I'm looking at my computer, I'll have to check that out. But his address is Depot Street because he lives off of Depot Street.
well, I think what he said the confusion is, he thought he lived in West Union.
Right. And like I said, I can't answer that because I wasn't working, I don't know, there isn't a Depot Street in West Union.
Okay. So,
And maybe just because we have the rails to trails, we have rail trail street, there could have been confusion, them thinking he lived in West Union.
okay, so how do we correct this? How do we correct this to let the emergency services know that Depot Street,
Well, we have
Central Station.
we have run sheets anyways, and clearly in our run sheets, Depot Street says off Central Station Road. There's not a Depot Street in West Union.
okay,
So that's something we'll have to look into, review the tapes, the call, see what was said.
okay.
I wasn't there, I can't actually answer that question, but I do know that much.
I'll talk to Randy Flynn. You said about a month ago, Clyde?
Yes.
The date would be on the ambulance report without being a specific date.
What was that?
The date that you called would be on the bill that you received from the ambulance, if you need something specific.
Do we need to move upstairs? Do we need to move?
They're here to support a Jean, so this goes on.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Barr.
I gotta go, I got a crew working on me.
I know.